Welcome to LAPUx Lessons. This podcast is a growing collection of conversations with the thought leaders in the online professional development space. Here at LAPU, our award-winning team strives to create world-class online learning experiences that put humanity back into learning. Join us on our journey to innovate in the online classroom and show the world what learning feels like.
Hello, LAPUx listeners. I'm Rhonelee, a senior instructional media designer, and I'm here with Kenna Miller, Efren Renon, and Grace Lim. We all take part in building our professional development courses, and as we reach the end of the year, we wanted to look back and share with you what we've gained from our experiences. So if we could each share a passion project or goal that we've had. Efren, do you want to share your passion project with us?
Yeah, of course. It's more of what I've learned from this year I want to focus on. And I know in our department or our team, we're talking about psychological safety. And it's to me this year, that's the really important topic that we've talked about. And I remember when I first started working at LAPU, I'm not comfortable. I don't know how to speak up. I didn't feel like my voice is being heard. I didn't feel safe. That was just me, my own challenges. But when George brought up psychological safety this year, I started to get into it because it's something I wanted to work on for myself. And at the end of the year, we're still talking about it and we're practicing it. So right now, that's what's happening. I feel more comfortable of working as a team, an innovative team. So you're basically trying to make the environment for yourself and for others to be okay or be safe to communicate and share ideas.
So valuable. How about you, Grace? What goal have you started off this year?
I think for me, my goal was to create a goal because I started here at LAPU back in April, I believe. And so this is a completely new setting for me, a virtual setting, a new job, a new career. So I think my goal coming in was, okay, what is my goal? Like, where should I start? So I think it all started with my manager, Mike. He asked me, let's meet up once a week, just kind of spend time on just come up with questions, whatever you're curious about. I'll try and teach you for an hour. So I think I naturally just led myself into like learning about tools that were offered here using our LMS. And I just kind of started experimenting, exploring, and I thought, it seems like our Moodle was recently updated and some of us haven't explored and looked into it. So I'm like, okay, I'll take the time. And it's just kind of like a virtual playground for me. I've just been tinkering here and there. And then I started working with Kenna on some of the PD courses and she just let me loose. And I just started venturing out on working with these tools. And so as of now, my goal is to try and create some of these tools, sort of transform them into a learning tool, possibly implement them into some of our PD courses or our academic courses.
That's so exciting. And I'm so proud of you. You started off like as an e-learning development specialist and now you're an instructional technology specialist. And you've done that within such a short time frame. So I just mad props to you.
Thank you. It was a crazy year.
Kenna, would you like to share your passion project or goal?
Sure. I feel like this year was a big opportunity for me to grow. I took on the new role of instructional designer. So that was a little bit, I'd say a little daunting at first because I hadn't really ever done it, but I have loved it. And I feel like I've learned so much. And then I would say my passion project for this year was to really dive deep into the LAPUx courses and the world of professional development. I think by now I've created or helped to create about 10 courses, and each one I've learned not only, more about that specific course, but I was able to improve my course writing skills and my course building skills as well. I was able to work with some amazing people on other teams, like the HR team that we have here at LAPU. They were very gracious and assisted in writing the HR courses that are on LAPUx. And I was also able to collaborate with some amazing people on the e-learning team. Like Grace said, we worked together and jumped on some of the 21st Century Toolkit courses. I've had a blast, and I hope Grace has as well. And also Efren and Rhonelee, I've worked with them on a bunch of the professional development courses, and that has been so fun because they're so creative and so willing to take everything to the next level. So I'm just very blessed and very excited to have had all of those opportunities this year.
So, what I'm hearing from all of you is how we've all grown from a state of discomfort to a place where we can just look back and say, I'm glad I took that step. So, for next year, do you see these goals being continuous improvements, or do you feel like you're happy with where you left off?
There's one saying, I know it's practice makes perfect, right? But to me, it's practice makes you better. So there's no perfection. You just keep getting better and better. There's no end to it. So of course, for me, all I can do is just keep going up, right? We're always gonna hit our wall or a little dip where, we feel like we're not going anywhere. But we're as long as you know how to pick yourself back up, you're still moving forward. So just keep practicing what you're doing or what's your goal.
I think our work environment really allows us to just keep going straight and dip and fall. And I think because of that, I'm consistent with my goal. Like, our support is very strong here. They'll accept everything and anything, whether you fail or whether you succeed. I think the only thing we don't agree with is being stagnant. It's just staying still. Yeah, just standing still. They say, like, stagnant water is actually poisonous water because it becomes toxic. And so, we want to be tools for our community. So I think because of that support that we have all around, I want to stay consistent, and I have been, and hope to continue that.
I love that.
I think so too. We're not doing it right if we're not continuing to get better and to learn new things. So yeah, I'm really excited for 2022. There's a lot on the horizon, and I know that just everybody on our team is very excited to learn new things and try new things. And it's awesome that we're given that creative space to really do that. So yeah, I think everybody's with the mindset of full speed ahead.
I love that. And so one of my biggest takeaways is this year for me personally and professionally, I feel that I really stepped into a leadership position. And I feel that all of us have been stepping into a leadership role. Our leader, George, he gives us these opportunities to call ourselves leaders. And I think what I'm so proud of is that we get to encourage others who don't feel like they have those skills. And we help them to sharpen those skills. And that is very apparent through the courses that we make. And we do this through the experiences that we have. Every single day, we learn something new. For the listeners who have goals on how to be better leaders, Kenna, would you mind sharing about some of the courses that they could take to sharpen those leadership skills?
Sure. So what's awesome too about LAPUx is as we have made these courses this year, we've put a lot into just leadership. There's pretty much a leadership aspect in, I'd say, most of the courses that we have. So even if you're not necessarily after a traditional leadership class, you do get a lot of those concepts in all of the courses. But we also have a couple different topics. Like if you're interested in HR, we have courses regarding that, but you can also be a leader in HR. So it gives you that kind of perspective as you're going through the course modules. We have our 21st Century Toolkit, and those are professional soft skills. And that is the basis of what could elevate you into a leadership position. So there's those types of topics and those types of courses that we offer that I think could be really beneficial depending on where the participant is currently at in their career. And then we have other more specific leadership classes that are like leading virtual teams or leading with moral excellence and different things like that, that are a little bit more specific, but can also help you reach your leadership goals, whatever that may be. So I think that we have a pretty wide course offering when it comes to leadership. And really, it can benefit you at any point in your career, just depending on where you are and what you want to learn specifically. And I think that that's something that's super unique because really, no matter who you are, I think that it could be beneficial to you.
I definitely agree with that. Efren or Grace, do you have anything you want to share on how to follow through with goals or resolutions?
Yeah, when you create an attainable goal, of course it's something that's achievable, right?
Yeah.
So it's a goal where you're challenging yourself, but also not hurting yourself. It's a healthy goal. For that, I follow like the SMART acronym, right? So it's be specific, be measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. You follow those acronyms to help you decide your goal. So that's, for me, that's what I follow when I come up with a goal.
Well said, you guys. I feel like the advice and the experiences that we've shared in this episode, we hope that you listeners can relate to them and can take away just something positive from this. And hopefully you'll be encouraged to create a leadership goal for yourself or any other professional development goal. We're here to help you become a better you. So check out x.lapu.edu.
Thank you for listening to this episode of LAPUx Lessons. We hope you had fun learning something new today. If you did, please take a few seconds to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. We also value your feedback so highly because we're doing this for you. Come connect with us on social media so we can get to know you better. All of our channels are listed in the show description. Before you go, we want to invite you to visit x.lapu.edu to see the courses that our awesome team has created. Check back often as we are always developing new offerings, or you can subscribe to this podcast where we will announce and feature new courses as they become available. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, this is what learning feels like.